Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV, today again at PDAC 2023 in Toronto. I have the pleasure to introduce you Chris Donaldson, the Executive Chairman of TinOne Resources. Chris, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing quite well.
That's perfect. So let's talk about your company. Let's talk about TinOne Resources.
Yeah.
You have been pretty busy over the last couple of months. So what's going on in the company?
Well, TinOne, early stage tin exploration company. We trade on the TSX venture under the symbol TORC, and under the OTCQB under TORC.V. And we've been pretty active. The tin market is finally starting to pick up again, and we just completed a 5,000 meter drill program on one of our properties in Tasmania. So we've got 4 different tin properties. 3 of them are in northeast Tasmania. Our flagship is Great Pyramid, and so it's got a historical resource on it of about 10,000 tons contained tin, which we've got pretty good grade on it, but it's a bit small. So goals of the program were to prove out the historical resource and test at depth and laterally, and we were very, very successful and achieved all those goals this year. So I have now released all of the results, and we're going to look to update that resource here in the coming months.
Perfect. So I've lived in Australia for 1 year, a couple of years ago, but I've never been to Tasmania. Of course, Australia is a Tier 1 mining jurisdiction. Just let me know a bit about Tasmania. How does it work there?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, it's beautiful, but it's a past producing tin and current producing tin state. Metals X has a Renison mine there, which is one of the biggest tin mines in the world. Our properties are in an area that we're either past tin producing or on forestry land, but they're all zoned for future commercial production. So in terms of being in the right location for if we can ever get to the point of building a mine there, I think we're in an ideal spot.
Wow, so the infrastructure is already there.
Yeah, we have two main projects. We've got the Great Pyramid, that was which has roads going right up to it. We didn't have to get any permits to drill this year in terms of getting new roads in, because there's all these crosscuts, which is great. Our second project is Aberfoyle, which is about 20 minutes down the road, and that's a past producing district. It's one that produced about 2 million tons of tin up until the mid-'80s, and then was shuttered when the tin price fell apart. So while we were doing all that drilling over at Great Pyramid, we were doing some sampling and mapping on Aberfoyle, and it's been really, really interesting for us. So we actually went back and looking for tin and tungsten. In the old days, they're basically chasing these high-grade veins and didn't do any kind of modern exploration. And so we went back, trying to find out the extent of those historical veins and find some new ones. And we did some multi-element testing and came across some lithium. So this has been a new twist for us.
Yeah.
The grades have been double anything that they found in Tasmania so far. Only 10 samples, so certainly early days. But we've got we've got geologists on the ground right now and trying to see what kind of scale we have. And it's a 100 square kilometer property, and if we can get that across a wide area, I think we've got a really, really interesting story coming up.
Okay, cool. You just mentioned the tin price, so actually we are around 27,000?
No, I mean, the tin price hit an all-time high last March of 51,000 a ton, and then China kind of flooded the market and it crashed down to 17,000 a ton last November. And then it popped up to 32. It almost doubled. It slid back a bit. I think we're at about 25,000 a ton as of today, but it's certainly it's almost at the incentive price right now and the balance price. Hopefully it'll stabilize and get closer to the 50,000 here over the next year. Yeah,
but what would you say? What's a good price for exploring and producing? Like this now?
Yeah, the incentive price, depending if you're open pit or underground, is 22 to 30,000 a ton. So we're in that range, which is good. But obviously higher is a bit better, and certainly the demand for tin outlook looks great. It's a critical battery metal. It's kind of the forgotten battery metal,
exactly.
Right? But it's so useful. Over half the use is from solder, which is used to kind of keep the glue that keeps the batteries together and so on. So the demand is there. Supply is limited, very similar to copper. There's been underinvestment in the space. So long term, I think we're going to get there. It's just a bit volatile in the interim.
Sure. So what's the main focus now for TinOne Resources in the short-term future? What are you
so we have two focuses. Tin is still very much our focus on that, and we're moving towards updating the resource on Great Pyramid. However, we're also fleshing out this new lithium discovery on Aberfoyle, and that could change things down the road. We're sending out our first set of grab samples this week, and should over the next week or two, or a couple of weeks, I should say, at least, get those results back.
Okay.
And that may dictate a little bit about what we do going forward. So we'll have some options, but stay tuned, and we'll know this all within the next month or so.
So I'm looking forward for the next lithium results, for sure.
Well, me too.
So you have done pretty busy, so you did very well. How's the situation with cash? So how much cash do you have in the bank?
Yeah, we've got about $1.5 million in the bank. So most of our heavy lifting has been done. We've done all the drilling. If we move to update the resource, it's not a lot of money, so we have enough to do that. And we're good, basically through the end of the year. If we decide to do more drilling or really expand on that, then we might have to look to the market.
Of course, so but normally the whole year is funded now.
Yeah, we're good for the interim.
Perfect. That sounds very good. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for your time. And dear investors, you heard it. TinOne Resources has done very well, so he was pretty busy, and new things comes up. Lithium is also now on their deposits, and tin is the glue for the future. So check out the company, and we will keep you posted with the next results.